Hello, and welcome to Folklore and Flourish, the Legends Reborn folklore podcast, brought to you by Blue Box 29. This podcast is at the very heart of who we are and what we create, the myths, the lessons, and the forgotten wisdom that breathe into the Legends Reborn chronicles. Every story we write and every world we build, every character we reimagine is rooted in the ancient tales that shape humanity. This show is my way of honoring those roots, sharing their magic, and inviting you into the stories that inspire our books and our souls. I'll see you in there.
And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, that's the most dangerous place in the world, and you're just sitting down there on go-karts, like,
chilling.
are you there?
Yet.
Cool it. That's it. We're done. You're done.
This is not my mouse. All right.
Did you steal my... Oh.
No, I was trying to use
That's hilarious.
headphones.
Hey, everybody, and welcome in. Today is January 3rd, and you're with Jane and...
Mark.
And today we are still in winter. We'll be in winter for quite some time, not until March will we be out of winter, which means that we're all about the soul myths, the archetypes of transformation, and that inward work on yourself. So that is where we are at in winter. January is all about crossing the threshold. So the seeker crossing the veil. We are at the month between worlds, all that transitionary time, the spooky coldness of winter. This week is week 1 still, so we're on the awakening. Yesterday, our activity dealt with the mark that we put over our hearts, and today's topic itself is the dream. So our theme today is messages from the unseen. So day 1, it was whispers from the unseen. Today, it's all about messages from the unseen. So our 4 stories today come from Egyptian, Chinese, Lakota, and Aztec cultures. All right, enjoy.
Before we begin, I want to take a moment to honor the cultures behind the stories we are about to explore. The tales shared here come from many peoples, lands, and traditions. I do not change these stories to fit modern expectations or to align with today's social standards. Instead, I present them as they were told, sometimes beautiful, sometimes harsh, sometimes challenging. We are not here to judge the past, but to understand it, to listen, to learn, and to honor the ancestors who carried these stories forward. We also share stories from various religious traditions. These are presented in their historical and spiritual context, with respect for their beliefs that they represent. Every culture deserves respect, context, and acknowledgement, and this space is dedicated to doing exactly that. Story 1. Imhotep and the Night the Gods Speak. In ancient Egypt, the night was not empty. When the sun set and Ra completed his descent into the Duat, the world did not sleep in ignorance. It listened. Night was the hour when gods moved more freely, when the dead drew near, and when the soul loosened its hold on the body. Dreams were not considered illusions. They were messages. Among the most revered figures associated with these messages was Imhotep, a man who lived during the reign of King Djoser, builder, physician, priest, and architect. In life, Imhotep was renowned for wisdom that seemed to reach beyond the human. In death, he did not fade. He was remembered. Over generations, his memory deepened into reverence. Shrines were raised in his name, temples welcomed the sick, the grieving, and the desperate. People traveled long distances not to speak to Imhotep, but to sleep near him. This practice was called dream incubation. Those who sought guidance purified themselves before entering the sacred space. They fasted, they washed, they abstained from noise and excess. They lay down upon cool stone floors beneath carvings of gods and stars, believing that Imhotep would visit them in the night. He did not always appear as a man. Sometimes he came as a voice, sometimes as an animal, sometimes as an image that made no sense until much later. A serpent coiled beside a bed, water flowing backward, a broken limb inside made whole, then broken again. The Egyptians did not expect clarity. They expected symbol. To dream was to enter a liminal state where the Ba, the soul that could travel, moved closer to the divine. In sleep, the boundaries between worlds softened. The dreamer walked nearer to gods, ancestors, and truths the waking mind could not endure directly. Not all dreams were blessings. Some were warnings. Some revealed illness not yet felt. Some exposed truths the dreamer had tried to avoid in daylight. Forgetting a dream was considered a loss, not relief. Those who dreamed at Imhotep's temples often awoke with instructions rather than comfort, a treatment to follow, a journey to make, a truth to accept. Healing did not always mean ease. Imhotep did not cure by removing pain. He cured by revealing its source. To the Egyptian people, this mattered deeply. Life was a balance of cosmic order. Illness, unrest, and confusion signaled imbalance. Dreams were not escapes from this imbalance. They were its diagnosis. When dawn came and the dreamer rose from the stone floor, they carried the message with them. It was interpreted by priests, remembered by scribes, or pondered alone in silence. The dream did not end upon waking. It began there. And so the story of Imhotep endured, not as a god who demanded worship, but as one who taught humans how to listen when the world fell quiet. Story 2. Zhuangzi and the Dream of the Butterfly. In the ancient world of China, where mountains were thought to breathe and rivers were understood as living veins of the earth, dreams were not treated as lesser realities. They were crossings. Among the early Taoist thinkers, none spoke of this crossing more quietly and more unsettlingly than Zhuangzi. He was not a ruler or priest, but a watcher of the natural world, someone who listened more than he declared. One night, Zhuangzi dreamed. In his dream, he was a butterfly. He did not dream of being a man who had become a butterfly. He was simply a butterfly, moving lightly through the air, wings lifting and folding without effort. He knew nothing of books, debates, or human concerns. He felt no weight of self. He drifted among flowers, content and unburdened. There was no question in the dream of who he was. When Zhuangzi awoke, he lay still for a long time. The room was familiar. The weight of his body had returned. The concerns of the human world pressed gently back into place. Yet something was wrong. Or rather, something had shifted. He wondered, was he Zhuangzi, who had dreamed he was a butterfly? Or was he a butterfly, now dreaming he was Zhuangzi? The question did not frighten him. It unsettled him. Zhuangzi did not try to answer it. That was the point. In Taoist thought, the danger lies not in uncertainty, but in clinging too tightly to fixed definitions. Identity, like water, changes shape depending on the vessel that holds it. The dream revealed something waking life could not. When asleep, Zhuangzi had not doubted this butterfly self. He had not questioned reality. Only upon waking did doubt arise. Which state, then, was more true? To the Taoists, this mattered deeply. The world was not composed of solid, unchanging truths, but of shifting relationships. To insist on permanence was to misunderstand the nature of existence. Dreams exposed this fluidity. They reminded the dreamer that what feels stable may be temporary, and what feels imaginary may be closer to truth than expected. The boundary between waking and dreaming was not a wall, but a membrane. Duangza's dream became a teaching passed quietly from mouth to mouth. It warned against arrogance, against believing one's perspective to be the center of reality, against mistaking familiarity for truth. In the dream, Duangza was free because he did not know he was Duangza. In waking life, he was troubled because he did. The story does not resolve this tension. It leaves it open, as Taoist teachings often do. The dream is not explained away. It is offered as a mirror, asking the listener to question where they believe themselves to be most real. To dream, in this tradition, is not to escape the world. It is to glimpse how unstable it truly is. Story 3. The dream that comes when the body is quiet. Among the Lakota, dreams are not accidents. They are not dismissed as wandering thoughts or images stirred by sleep. A true dream is something that arrives only when the body has been quieted enough, when the noise of hunger, fear, and habit has been stripped away. Such dreams are earned. From an early age, Lakota children were taught that visions do not belong to everyone in the same way. Some people might dream all their lives and never receive a message meant to guide them. Others would receive a single dream that shaped everything that followed. The difference was not luck, it was readiness. When a person reached a turning point in life, often at the edge of adulthood or during a time of great loss, they might undertake a vision fast, known among the Lakota as a sacred withdrawal from ordinary living. This was not done lightly. It required preparation, instruction, and the consent of elders. The seeker purified themselves first. They bathed, they prayed, they were taught how to listen. Then they went alone into the land, often to a high place where the wind moved freely and the sky felt close enough to touch. There, they fasted. No food, no water, no fire, no company. The body weakened, the mind wandered. Fear rose and fell. The land did not comfort the seeker, it observed them. Only when the body grew quiet enough did the dream begin to form. Sometimes it came as an animal that approached without fear, a buffalo, an eagle, a wolf. Sometimes it came as a song, carried on the wind, a rhythm that repeated until it settled into the bones. Sometimes it came as an image that frightened the seeker, showing them a responsibility they did not yet want. The dream did not explain itself. That was not its purpose. The dream revealed a relationship, a calling, a truth about who the seeker was meant to become in relation to the people and the land. To receive such a dream was not a reward, it was an obligation. When the seeker returned, weak and changed, the dream was shared with the elders. Interpretation was communal. No one carried a vision alone. The elders listened carefully, weighing the symbols, the behavior of animals, and the tone of the dream. A vision might call someone to be a healer, a protector, a singer, a keeper of stories, or it might warn them away from paths that would bring harm. Ignoring such a dream was dangerous. The Lakota taught that visions were not given for personal glory. They were given to restore balance between the individual, the community, and the natural world. A dream that was hoarded or denied would turn against the dreamer. To dream, in this way, was to stand face to face with responsibility. The seeker did not leave the fast enlightened. They left it claimed. And from that moment forward, their life no longer belonged entirely to them. Story 4. Tezcatlipoca and the Mirror That Dreams. Among the Mexicana, who the world later called the Aztecs, dreams were not gentle visitors. They were encounterers. The dream was a realm where gods moved freely, where the barriers between what was hidden and what was known weakened. Dreams were understood as places of testing, and not every dreamer passed through unchanged. One god, more than any other, ruled this space. He was Tezcatlipoca, whose name means smoking mirror. He was a god of night, fate, conflict, and reflection. Where others brought comfort or order, Tezcatlipoca brought revelation. His mirror was made of obsidian, black and polished, a stone that reflected not the face as it wished to be seen, but as it was. In waking life, such a mirror was dangerous. In dreams, it was unavoidable. The old stories say Tezcatlipoca entered dreams when a person stood at a moment of false certainty, when pride had hardened, when a lie had been repeated long enough to feel true. He did not shout, he showed. A dream sent by Tezcatlipoca might place a dreamer in a position of power, only to strip it away. It might reveal betrayal hidden beneath loyalty, or ambition masked as virtue. Sometimes the dreamers saw themselves committing acts they swore they would never do. These dreams were not punishments, they were exposures. To the Mexican, fate was not fixed, but it was honest. Tezcatlipoca did not create flaws, he revealed them. His mirror smoked because truth, once seen, was difficult to hold. Those who woke from such dreams often felt shaken. Some denied what they had seen. Some dismissed the dream as meaningless. But the elders taught that a dream ignored does not disappear. It returns, stronger, sharper, less forgiving. Warriors, rulers, and priests all feared Tezcatlipoca dreams equally. Power did not protect against reflection. In fact, it invited it. To dream under Tezcatlipoca's gaze was to be confronted with the self that acted when no one was watching. It forced the dreamer to choose, to change, or to be changed by force. The Mexicans believed that balance required this confrontation. A society that refused to look at itself honestly would rot from within. Dreams were the gods' ways of keeping the world awake to its own shadow. Tezcatlipoca did not offer comfort. He offered clarity. And clarity, once received, could not be undone.
Okay, so today's daily thread is, across every culture today, truth arrives when certainty loosens. In sleep, in vision, in symbols that refuse to explain themselves. Dreams do not come to entertain, they come to prepare. What cannot be faced in daylight often waits for night, right? So we heard those 4 stories.
Mhm.
A couple interesting things to mention about them, but first let's go ahead and jump into the origin periods that they came from, an important note. So for the Egyptian one, Imhotep, that's all Old Kingdom Egypt. We know now, like there's a lot of stuff coming out now that our time frame of Egypt is warped.
Yeah, big time.
So this could be a time frame that I am totally off on.
Right.
You know, honestly, all of the time frames we put, we don't know. We're doing our best. But anyways, this is from 2700 to 2200 BCE. So long time, like about 4,000 years ago.
Oh, ago, yeah.
Yeah, it's about 4,000-ish years ago. While Imhotep lived historically, the dream oracle traditions associated with him developed gradually. So I have seen quite a bit lack of seeing, I guess. There's not a whole bunch about his actual life. I mean, from what we can tell, he was important for a number of reasons. Architect was huge. He was the high priest of the sun god Ra. But he was kind of blown up as this bigger deity and worshipped and stuff later on.
He was Ra's actual high priestess.
Well, that's what he was remembered. That's like one of the few things we knew about him.
Right.
And another fun little thing about him is that that's the mummy from The Mummy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so the antagonist in it is Imhotep. And his famous line is, "Death is just the beginning," which is interesting considering that he is known a lot of the time as a dream oracle as dreams are just the beginning. So, I don't know, it could be a little bit of, is dreaming a gateway, a veil into death?
Right, where you're seeing past what we're in right
Is
now.
that the threshold
Right.
of complete everything? Complete whatever, I guess. I don't know, I just thought that was cool.
Yeah.
It was something that I knew the name. I mean, obviously I've studied Egyptian stuff before, knew that. But I was just like, kind of interesting they used him as a antagonist.
Right.
You know.
Well, you can warp any story you want,
Right.
just for fun, but
Right. So, the Chinese one that came from about 425 to 221 BCE. So another before Common Era time.
right.
This one was a little bit different than most myths that are just have a lot of that religious aspect behind it. This one is very much more of a philosophical folklore, interestingly enough, because it's talking about Taoism, which has been like stamped. It's a religion, right?
Right.
When a lot of the time it's a philosophical view. Right. I mean, we heard in that story that Taoism constantly challenges your idea and your certainty. So it's like the fact that you're certain about something, now you may have a dream and you're humbled in your uncertainty. I mean, he woke up not knowing if this is real or if the dream was.
It was probably one of my favorite parts about that story, actually, while listening to it, was like you fall asleep and you wake up, like that video we saw the other day where that guy lived however long, had a whole family, and then he woke up
Yeah,
from his journey.
what were they doing?
They were
Those
doing
college students. Yeah, they were
not
trying to.
that no, we were watching the Diesel Brother guys podcast
Yeah, that's
thing,
what I'm saying. And they took
and
something
it's
Slavic or saliva.
say it starts with an S or
Yeah.
something like that, maybe a C, I don't know, some kind of plant medicine or something, I think, and Slave, something like that, and smoke it. I don't even know how it's ingested, honestly,
Right.
how they take it. I'm not sure. I've never heard, but this guy goes on this thing. He has a whole family. He's a grandpa or something, lives and then like dies and then wakes back up where he was, but he
Yeah,
lived like
in
90
his
something.
college dorm room. Yeah.
Crazy.
I remember like the biggest snap was just you felt everything without question.
Yeah, he was depressed when he got back. That's like one of those stories. Like,
Right. How about the guy? Same kind of situation, but the guy that was a mile marker for 3,000 years. I
was it
mean,
3,000 or 300? I forget. I know it's three too many.
whatever. Right. More than one lifetime as a human, but like seeing all the history that passed you by. But I mean, was that a journey? Was that a dream? Or was that humbling reality?
Yeah.
Of no, you were this and you are this, like
Yeah.
that I am.
The whole I am thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of a little kind of scary. I'm not going to lie. I think I would be terrified feeling that 300 to 3,000 years. I mean, the fact that they felt it and then woke up.
Yeah, but I truly believe stuff like that. You're feeling it in a different way.
Right. Time
Definitely is going to move. Yeah, time isn't going to move. He could have seen 3,000 years worth of stuff in the matter of 5 minutes, but felt every single second of it. In relative speaking, like
I'm not
what
gonna
we
lie, I
know
would
now.
love that.
I like
the lives, everything that you would see. And you would just be able to see it because you're not gifted with the ability to speak over things.
right, and
you
then
are forced to witness.
Yeah.
And that, as painful as it may have been for that person, I'm not going to speak on them, that would have just, whew.
Yeah.
I mean, like the secrets, the heartbreak you would have seen.
The conversation.
The lies, the changes that the world went through. The burden that people carried, like.
Yeah, but imagine the stillness that you got to see as well.
Imagine
because it was in Europe somewhere, right? So like.
Oh, I don't remember if he was in Europe.
It was somewhere in Europe, I believe. And it was how many ever thousands of years or hundreds of years. And then it got tore down by like some backhoe, and that's when the guy woke up. Like, or some piece of equipment like broke that rock.
Right, no, it was intentionally.
Yeah, because they were doing something, and it woke him up.
that person, if you are that person, you know that person,
And you hear this?
if they knew what mile marker that was,
Mm-hmm.
if they knew where they were, or I guess, I mean, Taoism, that's not the point.
Right.
That's not the point, right? So there's a little bit of that. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. So the Lakota one, again, total guesstimate was about 1000 BCE to 1500 CE. We know, just like with every culture, I guess, the total guesstimate, but at what point, if at any point that was changed, who it was written down by, whatever.
Well, typically with Native Americans, I believe their tradition of passing things down, though, we both know was pretty special in how they did it.
Right.
So, and I'm assuming they weren't the only culture that did that as well.
No, I mean, every single culture, I truly believe, has gone through a phase where they have almost been destroyed by another culture, or been adapted to fit a different. I mean, like, you see it all around the world. It's still happening.
Well, I just seen a video today of a guy talking about like how the world is, it's pretty much been destructed multiple times.
Mhm.
But at one point through their things, it was like what destroyed the world worst. He was even going into new age
Yeah,
stuff
that's
like
right.
nuclear bombs, blah blah blah. And he's like, this is how close we were to being like global. Well, and one of the things he's like, the global population was down to roughly 3,000 people. And this is right around the bottleneck when we like turned different to the humans we are today. And that's also around the time that Neanderthals went
That, like,
extinct.
Babylon,
I'm
like
not
the
quite
twisting of tongues is when we kind of.
right, and that's when everything went. Yeah,
Yeah, like a lot of cultures you see, like, I mean, there's some, for example, where there are four brothers, or like two brothers, two sisters, and they all went with the rivers.
hmm
I mean, is that not exactly Babylon?
right,
Tongues were twisted, people were sent on their own way, and that's kind of why I think we have so many of the same origin stories.
right.
Like, how on earth did we have the same stories when we didn't speak the same languages? When we couldn't contact across
Right,
lands,
like you can
like,
now.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But oh, so I guess that was kind of an original, or not an original. That was an important note about the Lakota, is that it is a living and continuous tradition, or I guess, I don't know what kind of thing it is. Tradition, or you seeking it. I mean, you see it in the Yellowstone show. So it's obviously still pretty big in some places, but I do love the idea that you get consent from the elders.
hmm
It's not something that everyone can handle, I believe, at a certain point. And
It'd
I
be pretty
think that
rough.
the elders would be able to say, you aren't ready yet. You aren't ready yet. But then to know, like, to cleanse yourself, I think that you have to have people that are rooted in that environment,
Right,
that culture, that belief, whatever it may be. I don't think you need to be like a certain culture to do these things, but I do think you need to be with people who understand it
right,
100%. And I'm not saying like professor, or even me saying, oh, I know this culture because I've looked at it. No, I like people who've lived it,
right.
people who it's within themselves spiritually. And
Yeah,
I'm not saying like, oh, you're German now, so you might be able to teach me German traditions, and that's it, because we've all lived every single life.
right,
And there are people who are stepping up that were like, oh, there's no way that you should know that. There's no way that you should understand or feel these things based on what we understand.
right.
I mean, I'm like super obsessed with these stories. The Lakota one I was really excited about.
Honestly, it would be super cool to do a quest like that. I know it'd be so challenging though. Because like truly if you think about it, going out with no food, no water, no fire, nothing to cover, like you're
Yeah, and
pretty
I
much in.
believe that there is that
And
Like
then
no
win.
cover, as in you go in an animal skin's taken with. Like you're literally pushed
And you
to
got to
quiet
stay
and
in the
stillness.
open, right? Like that's
You
not
gotta
a go
stay.
find shelter type of
I could
thing.
100% be wrong. I mean, from what I've seen, there is a sacred space that if you lift that, it's almost like crossing that veil. Mm-mm. I believe that there are lots of things that go with it. I'm guesstimating on the things that I've seen and read about, but it's it's not meant to be alone.
Yeah.
And I love that it is you have that group of people, that tribe, to come down and talk to, and you aren't forced to have to figure it out on your own or to know everything. I think that's part of the, purpose of it. Probably why it's so effective. I would love to meet someone who is in every different perspective, someone who is an elder who can acknowledge why they choose certain people versus others, why this spot. I would love to be able to discuss with someone who has done that fasting vision dream, because I've only ever read it through stories or like you see adaptations on TV, just all of that. And then maybe even talking to a family member of someone who's experienced it.
Right.
And say, like, what have you noticed? Like, was there a change?
Yeah.
Because some people, it's like their energy is so different that they don't even recognize them when they walk in the door. Because it's like they've been shed,
All that energy that no longer serves them or whatever their true purpose
potentially.
is
Yeah.
now it's totally different. Yeah.
Because they're forced to acknowledge it. I love that. I love that dreams force you to acknowledge things.
Right. I like the whole part where it's like somebody could dream every single day too, like that, and then never get anything. And then somebody could have one dream, and that one dream does everything,
Right. Well, I mean, I'm a big dreamer.
Yeah, and I'm not really.
And I have a lot, but there are certain dreams that I've told you about that when I dreamt them, when I was inside of them, I knew it was something else. I knew, either because I had dreamed it before or because I was lucid dreaming throughout it, that this was something else. Why else would I have a little bit of control?
Right.
In the same dream across months to years.
Right.
And like going to certain areas and I know the doors are locked there, but then going back another time and that door's finally open after I had gone through something in my life. Yeah. Like you can kind of tell that there is something subconsciously calling. Okay, so our last one was that Aztec story. So that was post-classic Mesoamerica. We know more about the post-classic Mesoamerica than pre-civilization. Like, I don't know, it was like 5% of what we know is pre of all the Aztec, Incan, Mayans. I could 100% be wrong on that, but it was pretty low percentage. Like 90 to 95% of what we know about those cultures is post-classic Mesoamerican.
Wow.
So it's not even that their origin,
Right. So who knows where they even came from type of thing?
Or just how deeply rooted all their stuff is. Like, it's 100%, some of those stories could be fact. But because they're such old civilizations and they were seen as, I don't know, lesser intelligence.
Right.
Which I
how
do
could you
not believe. You hunter and gather and you're building pyramids like that.
And okay, so if anybody has watched anything with the LiDAR things they're doing in South America, hello, the connections, the size of these cities are crazy.
The layout, immaculate like structures on all of these things, but not only that, purpose.
Yeah.
Okay, how can you be a hunter-gatherer and understand purpose of where to place a temple versus where to place like a sanctuary or somewhere where there's sacrifices? Because sacrifices back then, it wasn't brutal. It was acknowledgement to the gods. They sacrificed, so we sacrifice. Right. That's a lot of what it was. It wasn't, oh, you come from here, so we're going to brutally cut out your heart and stuff. Like, no. There were sacrifices made, therefore there will be sacrifices made on our level.
Right.
because they were a lot. Any ancient cultures, I think, were a lot more humble. I'm not talking about like monarchies. I'm talking about like
Right.
serious,
Right.
cultures.
The thing that I loved about the Aztecs too, like to say that they weren't smart is one of the videos that I watched, and the reason why you can look at the forest and not tell where they built their stuff is because the way they built their stones, they used the forest. They like wiped out the rainforest, right? Where they were building stuff, but they utilized the trees and the mud to build the bricks. So then the trees and the mud just grow out of the bricks that they built and the roads. So
Yeah.
that's why you can't tell where most of the stuff is.
And I want to go there so bad because you see life coming out
Yeah.
in corners, and I don't believe in coincidences. So
There
when
is.
I see an outsider on these shows, I mean, with Josh Gates,
Mhm.
Expedition Unknown, Expedition X, I don't remember which one it is. I'm obsessed. It's fine. He goes to this temple they just uncovered, and I mean, the most poisonous serpent in the valley just happened to pop up 2 stones over.
Mhm.
Just happened to pop up. Didn't cause a fuss, just kind of went slithered. Yeah, they were scared because,
It's like,
but it was almost just like remember, humble yourself.
Mhm.
You know, this is part of the earth, and a lot of things happened for this. You know, more important things than us
Yeah.
have fallen in the course of that time, and those structures are still there.
Yep.
Like, I think that's both beautiful and terrifying, and I just love it. I love seeing that kind of stuff happen. And so, with it being like classic, post classic, these stories draw upon much older cosmological things.
Mm.
So again, hunters gatherers, yet they could sense patterns in the night sky. Seems a little bit whatever to me, but I don't know. It's just a lot of that.
I think
That
we use
symbolism is important.
I think we use intelligence in the wrong way or in a different way now. Like we use intelligence as book smart now, right? Like you're smart if you went to college, you're smart if you did this, you're smart if you got this. But back then, I just believe they were just so much more smart than we are today because they're just their ability to live with and on the land without really. I mean,
I
obviously,
think
we don't know how bad it was because they're not here anymore, right?
right.
But we're making more of an impact negatively.
But is that true?
You would assume.
Right. Like I don't know. I just keep
Or do we
seeing
just have our own way of doing it? They had their way of doing it, different technologies, different times, still coming to the same
right.
same
And
thing.
my comment was like, are they gone? You know,
I-
like we've seen some stuff about Greece and Troy, and I mean, I won't get super into it, but look into the origins of Rome and where they came from, because it's pretty interesting that Troy wasn't a real place, yet the origins of Rome itself come from Trojan people.
Mhm.
So it's just kind of interesting as to, I mean, of course, you could sit there and go, oh, that's all mythology, that's all hearsay. Everything is hearsay now.
Everything.
Like literally everything
Well,
is
then
hearsay.
I mean, and if you look in the past, everybody that's won wars has rewritten history no matter what. Whoever won wrote history in the way they wanted people to remember.
I mean, we're seeing people rewrite history
It's happening
now.
right
We
now.
won't get into like that kind of political stuff, but seeing people um rewrite history now, and so many people don't even understand like what happened.
Yeah.
And I mean, just that fact in itself made me kind of crumbled what I was taught in general. I mean,
Right.
not
Bust
gonna
out the
believe
salt
it
rock.
unless I've been there, you know. I mean,
Mm.
I think that about a lot of places around the world that you see do not travel to, they're super dangerous. And then I see someone there posting pictures that I know. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, that's the most dangerous place in the world, and you're just sitting down there on go-karts.
Chilling.
Like there's something
Mm.
that's just not right in a lot of stuff, you know, a lot. But with all of that we went through today in the stories, the lesson really was that dreams are gateways. So that kind of is it a veil? Is it an in-between? Or is it so high above that it's whatever? But either way, they are gateways.
Yeah.
Gateway to yourself, your higher self, your body is a vessel, like whatever aspect it is. So with that in mind, the reflection question today is, what truth within yourself is trying to surface? So again, what is a truth within you that is trying to surface? Whether it's uncomfortable or just like so it's bursting that you're just singing it from the rooftops. Maybe it's something that you are so uncomfortable with because it's something that needs to change. I think that we kind of, for myself, I think we kind of talked about it a little bit the past few days, but that anger has been trying to surface for a while. That unacknowledged, I guess, victim mentality that I had about some things. It was that anger of not being acknowledged that wrong was done.
Right.
And then to sit there with like lies and lies and lies, and just to sit there with that anger, knowing, has been pretty hard. But is that the truth of you're going to be pushed and pushed and pushed to where I want to say something, and that's the test? Because just to be the one that knows the truth. I mean, why sit here knowing the truth when 50 people, it doesn't matter, when they hear the truth, they're not going to believe it.
Yeah.
So it's like, I know the people that matter know. Because when someone's uncomfortable with that lie,
Yes.
it's because your actions proved something deep down within them that, not going to believe that lie. It goes against their character,
Yeah.
So I think that's been a big thing for me, is let your character do the talk.
Yes.
Because while everyone else is talking, so many people are talking and fighting, and it's like they're all trying to figure out what I have to say. I mean, people are going out to places to try to run into us, and it's just like, I must be onto something. Must be doing well. So many people are trying to get something out, and it's just kind of interesting to me. I mean, do you have something that's been trying to surface, or?
I think there could be a lot of things. For a solid answer, I don't know right off the top of my head. I mean, there's definitely all the energy stuff that I've been doing and stuff and whatever. I have a few things in my head, yeah, but I don't know if it quite fits this.
Yeah.
What I want at this moment.
Right. And this is a great point, and I'm going to pause in our kind of podcast to talk about this. If there are times where it is a question we may not know the answer to right away, obviously I put together the whole year worth, so I've seen them more than once, the questions, the tasks.
This is my first time hearing any of it, just so everybody knows.
Yeah, he's just like
just
my
here.
student, I guess.
I get to learn. So like all these stories, it's fun, just so everybody knows. First time I'm hearing these stories, I'm asking questions. So the more you guys interact and help me help learn, then it'll help you maybe.
My ultimate goal is to just share the stories. Like, to hear them is so beautiful. I mean, we're putting them into our books and our own Legends Reborn Chronicles, where we're not changing or disrespecting the culture at all. It's kind of a lot of, we as a society have no idea how similar people were back then. Like, we think we're so much better in all of this, and it doesn't really matter who was good, bad, in the sense of progression. But just that whole, we're not the first ones to feel sorrow. I'm not the first person to be angry at a wrong that's been done to them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because that other person on the other side is also thinking that I had done them wrong.
Yeah.
And they're angry.
Yep.
Or they might be sad. Who knows? I mean, you could find out. So it's just kind of, it's cool.
Yeah.
I like that. I like learning. I like, hearing new things. I mean, we have people that are pretty strong in certain areas, different cultures. So asking them is pretty cool as well. Hearing, do not leave this out. Do not forget this. Like that's pretty interesting as well. But so our daily task today, okay? So it's all about the dreams. Doesn't have to necessarily be a dream, but write down one dream fragment, an image, or a feeling today. Okay. So write down a dream fragment if you've had one recently that stuck with you. If you remember it, it stuck with you.
Yeah, I got one in the top of my head. Yeah.
To know that it stuck with you. Doesn't mean it's a vision, doesn't mean that it's Imhotep coming to talk to you, right? But write down a dream fragment, an image, or a feeling today to honor your memory before meaning. So to honor a memory itself before trying to decipher the meaning of it. Okay, so there's no analyzing, there's no writing out the details. You can if you want, absolutely, but just write it down. Let that memory live forever on that paper. On that piece of dirt. I mean, if you want to grab a stick and write it in the dirt, like let the earth be your page, you know? And this is pretty much because meaning arrives before understanding. The meaning itself will arrive before you truly understand what the meaning is. Okay, so we have to first remember before we can listen. So it's that we're getting a lot of different aspects of the awakening, and now it's literally waking up from the dream. So I guess a lot of it is this the dream? Or is there somewhere else? I don't know. I like to think, I hope, kind of scares me, but some of these dreams that we jump into more than once, and even the ones we might be in the same place every night, we never remember.
Right.
Who's there waiting for us? You know? Like when I go to sleep, or when you go to sleep, because I'm a psycho, I'm waiting for you. Right? But what's that other side? Who else is waiting for you? You know, I think that's just really cool. Yeah.
Thank you for walking this journey with me today. These stories are more than folklore. They are the heartbeat of our world building, the inspiration behind our characters, and the soul of the Legends Reborn Chronicles. By exploring these tales, we honor the past, ignite the present, and breathe life into the legends we're creating together. To see more of Mark and I, as well as additional scenes, discussions, and healing, check the links below that will lead you to our various social media platforms. Please also feel free to ask any questions or leave any comments in the episode below or in future episodes to come. We would love to hear from you. Until next time, may your path be guided by wonder, curiosity, and the magic of the stories that came before us. Blessings, and I'll see you on our next folklore journey.